Thank you. Madam Chair, I hand over the witness for us to proceed.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ceesay.
Yes, afternoon, ma'am.
You're welcome back.
Thank you.
Council, can we proceed?
Yes, thank you very much. Mr. Ceesay, do you have access to the 2018 to 2023 budget, Council? The approved budget?
Right now, it is not with me.
Okay, can you provide it if we ask that you provide it?
2018, 2019.
2018 to 2023.
Okay, thank you.
Now, as a councillor and the chairman of the, is it the Finance and Audit Committee?
Yes, then it was Finance and Audit Committee. Later on, Account Committee was set up.
Okay, later on the Accounts Committee, but it's one and the same function.
Yes.
And you also double ask, is it the chairman or a member of, is it the Revenue Committee?
Yeah, I'm the chairman of the Finance Committee, chairman of the Revenue Committee, member of the Account Committee, Education Committee, Waste Committee. Yes, and then, yes, those are the committees I can recall.
Now, at council level, what would you say is the procedure you follow in relation to the budget?
Okay. Normally, our line ministry normally send a form of a circular, a letter normally addressed to the CEO, and then copied to the Lord Mayor's office.
Yes.
So that particular letter will be minuted to me as the chairman of the Finance Committee. And then that letter, if I can recall, normally it is stated there what time should we submit our draft budget, and then how the activities should be done at the ward level, and then from there to the council level. So from there, our community service, together with the community development is under the central government, but the community service are our own staffs, who normally goes to the ward level, and then to do participatory budgeting from the ward level, and then from there, the issues will come to the council, and then at the council level too, a circular will be sent through the finance director with the support of the CEO to the respective departments for them to do budget submission with a timeline. So from there, we will sit with the finance team as a committee. It's where we will do the inputting. After the inputting, we will call the respective head of departments for bilateral, and then again too, we will have an engagement with councillors too for bilateral before the draft will be presented to the General Council. Normally, K.M.C. used to submit their budget before 30th of September from 2019 to date. If I can remember, we normally submit our budget before 30th of September every year. So again, the budget will be sent to the ministry for bilateral. Normally, the ministry will call us around October, sort of, for us to go for bilateral at the ministry level. And then we have local government budget advisory committee, normally headed by, I think, the PS, then the PS, Buba Sayan used to head it. And then currently, I think one Mr. Tal is the one heading it. And then this local government budget advisory committee have a composition. You have permanent secretary from the Ministry of Lands. You have the permanent secretary from Finance. And then GRA used to have a representative. And then And then area councils too, they identify 2 elected chairmen or mayors to represent them in this committee. And then we need to have 2 members of the public, but that was not happening from 2019 to date. And then 2 members of the civil society organization, that one too is not happening at that level. But,
so, please proceed.
Yeah, but we normally go for bilateral. After bilateral, and then there will be some comment for us to adjust our budget. The budget will be taken back to the council, and then for us to do that adjustment, and then it will be presented to the general council. From there again, it will be sent to the ministry, our land ministry, that is Ministry of Lands, and then they will also write a letter to the council, informing council that we can go on with our budget for the respective year. Again, before end of November, the final approval of the budget will be approved at the General Council. So that's how we do it.
So what role does the WDC, Ward Development Committee, play?
Okay, like I mentioned, the community service normally go to our wards to engage the WDC. So, but when they are on this participatory budgeting, they don't only engage the WDC's members will be represented. Any government agency that is operating within that area, whether it is a police, civil society organization, differently able persons, or person with a person with disability, they will be represented. Women's group used to have a representative, and then business that are operating within your ward, they need to have a representative. From there, they will come with a plan, sort of. And then they will be asking the WDC members, what do you want from your wards? So there will be itemized list of programs that they may need to implement for that particular year. And then later on, they will add maybe, for example, if they itemize about 5 or 6 projects, later on they will ask them, out of these 5 or 6 projects, which one do you think that you want it to be a priority? So out of that 6 programs, at least 1 or 2 will be identified. So the one that has been identified will be taken to the council.
Now, is the ward written to normally, these various wards, are they written to in relation to this process?
Normally then, K.M.C. 2019, we don't have much staff in our community service unit. I think it's after 2019 we have much staff in our community development office, because that time to my ward, the community development officer or service officer was manning 3 wards. And then I know other community development officers, service officers are also manning different wards. So these people, they are the one who used to be in contact with their respective councillors or wards, and then to inform them. But I can recall there used to be a letter. And then this letter normally, they do forward it to the clerk, because we have a WhatsApp platform, whereby the clerk will send it, see it in that platform, just like it is called K.M.C. Councilors. And then it's where we normally get information. Even there are information for training, even from NGOs or any other.
But
yes.
You don't have official communications in relation to budget?
I can recall there used to be a letter.
There used to be a?
There used to be a letter that clerk normally communicate.
Through WhatsApp?
No, they normally snap it and then send it to the group with the write-up.
Let me read to you the Finance and Audit, the All Government Finance and Audit Act 2004, in relation to Section 9, approval of the budget. It says, the annual estimates prepared under Section 8, that is the budget, shall be in such a form as may be directed by the Financial Manual. Now it goes for the draft estimates shall be displayed at the ward level for comments before submission to the council. Is this done?
Yes, like I mentioned to you.
Your answer suggests it is a no.
Yes, it is done.
It's done?
Yes.
This is done?
Yes.
I will ask for the records.
Because even at the back...
I'll ask for the records if you say it is done.
No, let me clarify.
Okay.
Because this thing will be written in a form of a flip chart, And this flip chart, when they are done, a copy will be taken to the council, another copy will be given to a particular ward councillor.
Do you display the draft estimate at the ward level, your ward? Because there will be minutes of these meetings where you have discussed this, and the comments that you have made therein for every ward, not only you, for every ward, and then the
Yes.
comments that are submitted to
Okay.
council.
Yeah, okay. Now I cannot speak on behalf of every ward,
Yeah.
but what I understand.
No, you can. You know why you can? Number one, even at being the chairperson of the finance and audit committee, this is within your mandate to be able to know that expenditures are in accordance with the
Yes,
budget.
it's true that
Let me just explain to you. And then, at being a councillor as well, you take or you have a participatory role in relation to how budgets are formulated, and so you represent a ward. That's why you are at council.
Yes.
And the process of having this budget has to reflect the will and the aspirations of the people. That is how you serve them through this budget, so that you know what they are going through, what they want, what they do not want, how they want to achieve it. And this is the comments that the law is referring to. And these comments must be submitted to council. That's what the law says. Now, is that done in this manner?
Yes, what I can remember.
Not what you can remember, whether it is done in this manner.
For me, I think it is done in that manner.
You think?
Yes.
You're not sure?
Yeah, the reasons are, one, when they are going for this participatory budget in respective ward, they will be communicated
Yes.
that we are coming so date and time. This is the criteria of people that we want them to be present on that occasions.
Yes.
And then that's how they do it. Because for me too, I'm a chairman of a committee.
Yes.
Though remember that I'm a councillor.
Yes.
So going around with these people or be monitoring all their activities will
Yes.
be difficult. Would be
Yes.
difficult for me. But what I am sure, when they are done at the ward level, each ward you are given a copy of your items.
Do you have your comments? Do you, for the ward you represent, have your comments over the years from 2018 that you have sent or submitted to council for the preparation of the draft estimate?
Okay, if it is a draft estimate, the council used to give that into a councillor.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
No, you are talking about a draft estimate.
Yes.
Lastly, you talk about draft estimate.
Yes.
So the draft estimate and then to do the participatory budgeting for your ward plan are
Yes.
different.
Now let me read to you again. Maybe you understand. It says that the draft estimates shall be displayed at ward level for comments. You have a committee at the ward level, right?
Yes.
Now it should be displayed there, discussed there, and the comments ward level for comments before submission to council. So your comments will be submitted to council.
So okay,
Is
like
that done in this manner?
I don't understand what you are talking about, but what I understand, like I mentioned, this will be done at the ward level. Participatory budgeting will be done at the ward level. From there, it will be forwarded to the council for inputting.
Yes.
After inputting, the draft will be produced, given to a
Have you forwarded those comments?
Yes,
You
it will
yourself?
Yes, it will be given to a councillor. Every councillor will have your own copy for about 2 weeks for you to discuss it with your people. From there, a general council will be called.
Now,
yes.
now I'm asking you whether you have been doing that. You yourself in your ward, do you have, if we request for these comments over the years, would you be able to produce it? Your contribution at the ward level to the budget, these comments sent to council, would you be able to have it?
It's not 100% been done.
So the answer is no.
No, it's not 100% been done.
I'm just trying to help you. If you say it's not 100%, I will get still requests for the 10 you have or the 20 you have, for any amount you have. If you say you have not done that, then we move on to other issues.
Okay, it has not been done properly.
This is it. That's simple. Thank you so much for your honesty. Any questions related to the budget before I move on to other issues?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Ceesay,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have a council development fund?
Yes, double DC fund, yes.
What does it mean?
Okay, it's for us to implement light projects in our wards. So the reason why council started giving this thing, there is a history in 2019, whereby we started this Mali project.
No, I am referring to what the Finance and Audit Act has said.
Yes.
With respect to a council maintaining a council's development fund.
This thing.
Okay.
Are you aware of that?
Yes, that fund is should be purely be used for development.
Let me refer you to Section 3 of the Finance and Audit Act of 2004. It says, a council shall keep a council's development fund into which all revenue generated by council shall be paid, and from which all liabilities falling to be discharged by the council shall be discharged. That is the sort of fund I am asking you.
Okay.
I am coming to the issue of what you are given yearly and what you have expended that money on. But for now, I am asking you, as being chair of the revenue and finance, have you been complying with this provision?
Though it was in 2020 or 2021, we started having a budget officer through certain reform through the Ministry of Finance.
Mr. Ceesay,
Yes.
This act was passed in 2004.
Yes.
And you came in 2018.
Yes.
Do you think your failure to have a budget officer should exempt the council from following what the provisions of the law is saying with respect to the funds of council?
Like you are saying here, like we have different operational accounts. But to mention here that we have only one operational account that is purely for development, I don't think that is happening at K.M.C.
Up to date, right?
Up to date, yes. I don't think that because if just like
that
the act,
that is what I'm asking.
yeah, just like the act that you are quoting.
Yeah.
They say that we're supposed to have like such account with, is it central bank? I read it from somewhere, but it will be difficult for councils to do.
No, you can provide us with that. But
okay,
you understand, in terms of you being the chair of the finance and revenue,
yes.
did you avert your mind to this provision? That is my question. And you have just answered it that it's not, not been done.
Yes. So
it's for us to put across to you some of the lapses and some of the omissions that you have, so that you avert your mind as the chair of these committees, so that you can put in place what you need to put in place to make sure that the council works in compliance with the law.
Thank you.
Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes. Now, let me just ask one question before I hand you over to council. Now, your wards are giving monies each year. Now, how much as a councillor from 2018 to 2023 have you received cumulatively as allocation for your ward?
Okay, from 2019,
2018.
No, it started in 2019. 2018,
you did not
there
have
was
any
no
allocation.
development fund for the double disease.
Okay.
So it was in 2019, even that fund is not been directly been sent to our account, but our...
We understand that the ward must have an account where this disbursement is done.
It is...
So I'm asking you the cumulative amount.
So, okay, it's supposed to be $200,000, but 2019, nothing was sent to any of the ward's account. It started in 2020. Yeah, so the arrangement supposed to be every month.
Did you say in 2019 it was?
No, there was an amount allocated for each ward.
How much was?
But in 200,000 for road projects.
Yes.
But it is implemented by council itself. So
no, I don't understand.
So an amount of 200,000 was allocated for every ward in 2019
Yes.
for light project, but in a form of a roads, for
Okay.
people to identify the roads. So council will come and spend that amount.
Okay, so now you have just earlier told me a few seconds ago that it is the ward that the disbursement is done to the ward's account. So in this circumstance, are you telling us that this money was not disbursed to your ward account?
Yeah, for that of
For 2019?
Yeah, for that of 2019, it was not.
Yes.
So, but it was in a form of a project.
Now, let me refer you to your statement of the 10th of September 2024. It says in fourth paragraph, you said, in 2019, the council allocated the amount of 200,000 to the 19 wards in the budget, which was paid to respective contractors with implementation by the Director of Planning and Development to facilitate road rehabilitation in these wards. Is that what you are explaining?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to explain.
So what do you mean when you say council allocated this to the 19 wards in the budget?
So
it was an allocation, but disbursement was not done to your account.
Yes.
And they controlled the money.
Yes.
Through the development directorate, planning and development.
Yes.
To implement the project.
Yes.
Now, for the projects that have been identified, was it based on the ward's recommendation that these were expended on?
Yes, it was in a form of a general council, and then that
No. The act is very specific.
Yes.
What it provides for is very specific.
Yes.
These monies are supposed to be allocated to the ward after they have identified
Yes.
the areas that they need you to expend the money on. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
So what was the overriding decision in this?
So that time there was no ward with a WDC account.
Okay, that is understood. So thank you so much. And you did not give me cumulative amount you have received after 2019.
I think from 2018 to 2020 to 2023, my ward have been benefiting 100%.
From what?
From the $200,000.
From what year to what year?
From 2020 to 2023.
2020 to 2023. So now, that is 2021, 2022, and 2020. So in 2020, what did you expend your money on?
Actually, the records are with the clerk, and then I learned that everything was been forwarded to the...
Okay, we'll give you time to liaise with the registrar and provide us with the records of what you have expended the 200,000 for 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023.
Okay.
Thank you. Councillor, you may proceed. Sorry, let me just ask one last question. The issue of the honorarium, we discussed it before we left for break. Are you familiar with what the financial manual said? Mr. Ceesay, are you familiar with what is contained in the financial manual with respect to payment of expenditure?
No, I'm not with the financial manual here. If you can help me.
Registrar, can you please give him the financial manual? No, I'm using it.
I have this. What did you say?
I will give you mine, but let me just refer you. Okay. Let me refer you to section 501, which is chapter 5, payment and expenditure. And I refer you to operating or recurrent expenditure. What is contained in the financial manual doesn't provide for honorarium. Did you see that? Let me read for you quickly before I hand you back to council. It says operating or recurrent expenditure. The council's operating cost will include the following: A, staff salaries and wages, allowances to council members, transport and traveling allowance to staff, utilities, you have telephone, electricity and water, E, purchases and supplies, F, maintenance of vehicles, equipment and generator, G, maintenance of buildings, H, maintenance of furniture, I, fuel and lubricants, J, minor works, K, rents, I, bank charges, and M, any other expenditure. Is it contained there?
No.
Honorarium, payment of honorarium, is it contained in the financial manual?
No, it is not there, neither petty cash or impress.
You said what?
Honorarium is not being mentioned there, neither petty cash or impress.
Thank you so much. Council, you may proceed.
Now, the probably last issue for today is in connection with the deletion of information from the rates, the monies in relation to rates. Do you recall this?
Yes, I recall about the deletion of some figures from our matrix system.
Yes. What can you tell us about that? Was there an investigation in relation to this issue?
Yes, there was an investigation related to the issue. Yes, there was an investigation related to the issue.
Well, who did this investigation? Is it a committee that was formed?
Yeah, it was a letter sort of, the complaint, if I can vividly remember, was written by the former acting director of finance.
Yes.
At that time, he was acting as deputy director of finance.
What's the name?
Mr. Sirif Njai.
Yes.
Like a form of a memo that was addressed to the office of the mayor. And then mayor also mandated to two committees, that is finance and establishment committee.
Yes.
For them to look into the matter.
So what was done by the finance and audit committee?
Yeah, so what happened at that time, I think the investigation was done in 2 days, if I can remember. And then the software developer
Yes.
was invited by one Mr. Ceesay,
Yes.
if I can remember. And then he was engaged regarding this deletion. So at that time,
Yes.
he explained everything to us that council, we know who deleted the system.
It was?
He said that for us at our own level,
Yes.
council,
Yes.
we already know who deleted the system. I said to him that no, if hadn't been we knows who deleted the system,
Yes.
we would not have called you. So later on, we asked him, just kindly explain these things further, because you are the one who developed this software.
Yes.
So after our engagement with him, and then we find out that the system does not have an audit trail, because if you develop a software, if any person who log in, because every person who log in need to have like a code sort of,
Yes.
for you to have access to areas where your user right is not limited.
Yes.
So then this guy was unable to produce the person who log in at particular time, particular date, and then deleted this information. So again, our staffs too were invited. That is the cashier and then the IT. And then later on we interrogate them.
Yes.
So they also inform us that the cashier's end is where the money was missing.
Yes.
And in the cashier, the time during interrogation, we asked him, at your office, do you have like a duplicate key? Like maybe two of you guys are using a key, but the cashier at that moment, he said that he's the only person with the key.
Yes.
So we told him that, look, how comes this amount of money is missing at your end? So, but the explanation was not for us at our own end.
Yes.
We don't appreciate it. So later on, to Mr. Carr was the IT manager too was invited, and then the IT manager also explained his side of his story because he have a limited user rights.
Yes.
And then for him, he cannot delete. I think he says that he's just a system manager.
Yes.
And then his user rights are limited. So during the investigation too, he also revealed to us that the data, the server, because the server he's in custody of the server.
Yes.
He says that the server was once taken from the council for about a week or two.
Once taken from the council.
From the council.
By?
But I don't know whether he was mentioning that deputy finance director at that time. I don't know. Yeah.
You have to know.
Yes.
If you don't know, how can the
Yes, but if I can recall, during our interrogation with him,
yes,
he said the server was once taken from the council
yes,
for a week or two. So the time the server was brought in, later on, I think the system developer once visited his office, and then there was, I don't know, the guy came to his computer telling him that I want to log in. So that's the time the guy logged in. After the guy did something with his laptop, and then the guy left. After the guy leaving, for him, the time he wanted to enter into the system, he found out that some of his rights are limited. So then the investigation was not concluded. So what happened during that time, we just recommend for the cashier to be moved.
Yes.
He should not be dealing with cash, and then the cashier was being moved.
Yes.
So along the investigation too, the IT manager resigned, and then we were unable to get to him, and then later on too, we recommend the super user rights supposed to be given to the CEO at that time, that is Zena Martin Sonko.
Yes.
Later on few months, C2 was under suspension. So later on, we are invited at the National Assembly in several occasions regarding about this issue, but there was no proper discussion on it, because at the time I went there, and then they asked us to submit a report. So then one of the committee member of that FPA committee was trying to belittle me, that they only invited the mayor and then the CEO or the finance director. So I'm too junior for me to talk there. So from that time to, I was also angry, and then I don't present my facts.
So where is the report? Did you guys have a report?
Yeah, I think I have a photocopy of it.
Of the report?
Yes. That was addressed to the FPAC committee chairperson.
I mean, after the investigations, did you guys write a report?
There was no proper report, because the investigation was not concluded.
It was not concluded. Why?
Yes, because like I mentioned, the people in question, like the key people in maybe one, the IT manager, because we suspect maybe he may have a user right to do the deletion. He resigned from the council, and then during the investigation, when we call him, we cannot get him. Yeah, because I learned that he was going to school at that time, and then so many issues also happened, because he was having issues with our director of admin, and then for us calling him directly, it may not tell well.
Let us please have that document first before we proceed with this issue. We applied to tender a letter addressed to the chairman, Finance and Public Accounts Committee, National Assembly, March 13, 2023, in relation to the deletion of this amount of more than $200,000 from the matrix system.
A letter dated the 13th of March 2023, addressed to the Chairman, Finance and Public Account Committee, National Assembly, with the subject report. I'm reading verbatim. Report tile, Joint Committee of Finance and Establishment and Appointment, investigate report on the deletion from the K.M.C matric system and missing amount of 200 ND 97,941 in brackets 297,941.43 butus. This document is admitted as an exhibit in evidence, and it is marked as LGC/KC/KMC/009.
Ask the Commission, please. But just to move on, you have confirmed that there was no report because the investigation was not concluded.
Yes.
So the report, the management response, let me read to you, says the observation on the above is noted. Management have carried an investigation on the matter at the time, but was handled by then CEO and Director of Finance with help of Finance Committee and Establishment and Appointment Committee, of which the minutes of the investigation is available for inspection. So this was not true. There was no minutes of the investigation.
No, there was an investigation.
No, but this particular response, you've told the Commission you did the exercise, but then it was not concluded. Correct?
Yes.
Good. Now, however, based on the information from the system developer, it is only the system administrator who could have access to the database to perform such transactions, and the former IT manager was the system administrator to the database. This is also correct? Correct, sir?
Yes.
Now, when contacted during the investigation, the IT manager denied any involvement in the act, despite having all the right to the system, but could not ascertain due to the unavailability of the audit trail. Now, Mr. Ceesay also testified here. He works for the system developer, the matrix system, and he told the Commission that he made his position known to Council as to who and how the information could have been deleted. He said that the cashier, he in fact demonstrated how it works, that the cashier does the entries, generates receipts, but cannot delete.
Yes.
And the IT manager has the rights, the access to delete any data or any information. That was very clear.
No, at that investigation,
Yes.
the IT manager says his user rights are limited, and then he does not have rights to delete.
No, but the response of the management, which I believe is from from the committee, is very consistent with Mr. Ceesay, the system developer. It says, and I will read again, based on the information from the system developer, it is only the system administrator who could have the, access to the database to perform such transactions, and the former IT manager was the system administrator to the database. This is the response from the management. They have confirmed what he said.
So this management response, we are not being involved.
Well,
yes,
Mr. Ceesay, I would not know that, but what I know is that this management response is very clear and in line with what the testimony of Mr. Ceesay. And your investigation, maybe there's a reason why Council did not conclude the investigation and hold the people that are supposed to be held accountable, to hold them accountable. But it was very clear that there are only two people that had access that could be questioned in this. And that is the cashier, who would be doing the inputting,
yes,
and the recipient,
yes,
but cannot delete. And the IT manager, who is in control of the server and has access to the backroom. These set of facts are very clear to everyone. Is that not the case?
Yeah, that is the truth. But
so you could have drawn your conclusion as an investigator based on what you have observed and your interview. So to say that we could not conclude, there is no investigation that could not be concluded.
Yeah, the reasons why we could not conclude it, because we asked them about an audit trail. But if you check their management response, they don't mention audit trail, because the system at that time, they don't have an audit trail. You cannot just accuse someone and then you acted on that without an evidence.
No. Even with an audit trail, they cannot tell you who in particular did the deletion. What they can tell you is who had the keys. It's as simple as that. Who was in charge? The same way we are holding you accountable as the chairman of the accounts and audit committee, or finance and audit committee, or the accounts committee, because you were the chairperson. Does that mean that you have been doing all the wrongs there? No. It was a team, but you were the head.
Yeah, but at our own end, the time the IT manager was invited, he denied that his user rights are limited. Of course,
we have every single day here, witnesses come here and they deny. That does not mean the commissioners would not come to a conclusion.
No, I think...
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You were in a position to draw your conclusion, regardless of the denial by the people you interviewed. So why did you not have a conclusion and a report?
Because there was not an audit trail. Hadn't been there was an audit trail instant, we will be able to know that it's so who deleted.
Put it in your report.
Yes, and then two, within that duration of the investigation, the IT manager resigned.
Put it in your report.
Yes, and then again, the people that we entrust for them to act about the transfer of that former cashier, not to be dealing with cash.
Yes.
That one was been done.
Put it in your report.
Yes, that one was been done. But later on, those two were also under suspension for
Put everything in your report. These are findings. Put it in your report and have a conclusion. It's either you can conclude that XYZ should be held accountable, or you cannot conclude that they should be held accountable, but you must have a report and you must have a conclusion. Do you agree with that? Yeah, your report can either indict someone or not indict them. Your report can either confirm that XYZ should be held responsible, or you can state clearly that you cannot confirm based on XYZ, this set of facts. But you must have a report.
Yeah, that's true. Because like if you check the similar case of Mr. Ceesay, Salif Ceesay.
Yes.
So similar to thing happened for our own and at our own committee, because I was trying to check on the minutes, I cannot see the minutes.
Yes.
What we say is, because the time we confronted the guy, he in fact accept that taking the money and then he used it because he have an emergency family issue.
Yes.
So later on, he paid about $43,000 or $45,000. He was left with a balance of about $140,000.
Yes.
So we conclude that this guy is supposed to be transferred and he should not be dealing with cash. When he's done with the payment, we just see how best to redeploy him. Later on, a few weeks later, because in fact the guy was advised to write a letter, and then the guy write a letter of apology. Yes, and then he promised to pay the money back.
Yes.
But out of our surprise, I was notified that he was sacked, and then the time he was sacked, he went with council's money.
You see, that's sad. Is that not the case? But these things should be, you should write these things down. You understand that? As a committee,
yes,
you should write these things down.
Yes.
This should form part of the reports or the written communications that you will have to send to whosoever you are responsible, you are answerable to, in this case, council. And these are gaps that we seek to remedy every single day you serve the public. Yeah. So you agree with me that you could have written a report in this, you as in the committee, have written a report on this matter and draw a conclusion based on your findings and your observation.
Yes.
And you failed to do that.
Yes.
Thank you.
No, actually, we don't fail.
You know, you failed to write a report. It could have been done, it was not done.
Maybe we failed to conclude our investigation.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now, again, I have, lastly, some issues that I want to show you. There are so many internal audit reports that were generated. There are so many internal audit reports that were generated, and we have one, for instance, 2022 internal audit inspections on ballot project. Have you been receiving these internal audit reports? It's marked as Exhibit LGC/BN/KMC/005. We have internal audit inspections on ballot project, for instance.
Yes, like I mentioned earlier in the morning.
We have the internal audit exercise on invoices for the period 1st January to 31st December 2021. We have the auction sales at the council. The date is the 4th of October 2022. So the internal audit report on the auction sales 29th of September 2022. You have this report, the access to all these reports?
Yeah, currently saying that I have them with me.
No, not with you.
Yes.
Whether, let me rephrase. The council or the committee, did they have access to this report?
Yeah, there are some of the reports that we used to review.
Yes.
But I don't know actually which year and which year, but like the report that I saw, that was in fact reviewed in 2022.
Yes.
Was the National Audit Report 2019.
So, but you haven't seen these ones?
Maybe this one, because if you check there is a payment, you asked me in the morning regarding about the 50,000.
Yes.
Yes, so there must be a report. We were acting based on one of the report regarding the ballot project contracts and so on.
The reason why I'm asking is that there are so many internal audit reports. All of these are internal audit reports which your committee should be constantly looking into and making and reporting to council. That is the role of the accounts committee. One of the roles of the accounts committee or the finance and audit committee, you will agree with me. Why would you not address all these issues? You spoke about fraud. I asked you questions in relation to your exercise. You said you could not find any fraud. These reports have clearly outlined several fraudulent allegations. Several.
Okay, I want to clarify something. 2018
yes.
to 2020, I don't think there was any account committee. It was only finance committee,
yes.
if I can remember.
Yes.
Later on, an account committee was created.
Yes.
And then they were functioning for a while. Later on, I was incorporated into that committee.
Yes.
But the chairperson was not active, and they were not having meetings frequently like any other committees.
Yes.
Because normally, one Mr. Fofana, the former audit director,
yes.
normally send me some information on my email,
yes.
and so on. So I normally have access to some of his information.
Yes.
But the time he left, to have access to most of this audit report like before, normally maybe only the former acting finance director normally engage me on them.
Mr. Ceesay, was council taking actions in relation to fraudulent allegations or findings by either the national audit or the internal audit?
Like I mentioned earlier,
yes.
In the morning, but you says like what the information I give is not correct. What we can do,
yes.
like if an internal audit did an auditing,
yes,
it will be addressed to the office of the mayor,
yes,
and then the CEO.
yes.
So they will call them. They normally have their management meeting. I am not part of the management.
Yes.
They have their senior management and then other meetings. I'm not
yes.
part of it. Later on, a meeting will be called.
Yes.
And then for them to respond to some of these queries.
Yes.
But when they responded,
yes.
I think it's only this year, an internal audit report was presented at the General Council.
So you are saying, in essence, your committee, you wanted to do your job, but you were not furnished with the required information or tool to do your job.
Yes, because key among the queries we are talking about here,
yes.
they were not forwarded to our committee. And then, in fact, if you check the management response, the
yes.
management will respond
yes.
with a particular time frame.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, they will not implement it.
I respect that. I respect what you have said regarding the information. So your testimony is the auditor will either write to the CEO or the mayor or both. Correct?
Yes.
And normally they should forward this to you. Just like the case of the deletion.
Yes.
The mayor wrote to you or forwarded to you.
No, it's not the mayor. It was minuted. A letter was addressed to the mayor. The
yes.
mayor minuted to our committee. Yes.
But that's what I mean. That it was forwarded to you.
Yes.
The complaint was forwarded to you.
Yes.
But the same procedure should have been taken for all these internal audit findings. Do you agree with that?
Yes, if management respond and then the
The
auditor...
same procedure should have been taken. You see, me, I
Yes.
like to hold the bull by the horn. We call it as it is. If it is a spade, we call it a spade. The same procedure should have been taken because there are so many findings, so many internal audit findings against or in K.M.C. by the internal auditor. All this, just bulky.
Yeah, but if there are responses and then the final
Forget
report...
the responses. I'm now talking about, let me draw you back, for instance, the Local Government Accounts Committee.
Yes.
One of your functions, right? It says, if you go to the local...
Can we be guided by the section?
Yes, the Local Government Finance and Audit Act 2004 says Local Government Accounts Committee, sub 6, but 24 says there shall be in each local government area.
Section what, please?
Section 24 sub 1 for the post of guidance says there shall be in each local government area a local government accounts committee which shall comprise the chief executive, the director of finance, 4 elected members of the council, a representative of the area administrator or commissioner as the case may be, a member of the general public who has financial or accounting qualification to be appointed by the Secretary of State, and F, a representative of women's groups in the local government area to be appointed by the council. Sub 2, the members of a local government accounts committee shall appoint a chairperson from among its members. 3, every meeting of the local government accounts committee shall be presided over by the chairperson, and in the absence of the chairperson by a member elected by the members present. 4 members of the local government accounts committee shall form a quorum. 5, the office of the chief executive shall be the secretariat of the local government accounts committee. Now, sub 6 says, a local government accounts committee A shall examine the reports of the Auditor General, the internal auditor, and any other reports in relation to finances of its council, and may, in relation to its functions, require the attendance of any councillor or officer to explain matters arising from the report. 7, that a local government accounts committee shall submit its report to the council, the Secretary of State responsible for the finance, and the Auditor General, and the list goes on. So it is along these lines that you are here, so that we all understand why it is important that these matters that are being dealt with on a daily basis, that involves allegations of financial malpractice in council, misappropriation of funds in council, they don't go under the carpet. Do you understand that? That everybody should know.
Yeah, can I come in?
No, let me land. Everybody should know there's the importance that you primarily as a committee should have access to this information and deal with it. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you agree with this?
Yes, I agree we should have access to these informations.
Yes.
But an information that is never been presented to you will be difficult for one to act.
I agree, 100%.
So,
but who do you fault?
Unfortunately,
Who is to blame?
the chairperson of this committee is late. Like I mentioned to you, the time this account committee was formed, they were not functioning. Later on, they invited me to be part of them. They were not sitting frequently. So maybe these informations were mandated to him for him to act, but he does not. Then what I will also recommend, I think the internal auditor also have right quarterly to present the audit report. But since from 2019 to 2023 January, I have never seen an internal auditor from KMC presenting audit report at the General Council.
That's true. That's a very correct statement, and that's probably one of the reasons why I think there was a letter written from Council that recommending that either he be replaced or thereabout, or he doesn't have capacity. That's true. But if you cannot act on this, even the most simple weekly or periodical findings, do you think you'll have time for quarterly reports?
It will be difficult.
Yes. So people will just use that as a cover, as a cover-up. But this will be very unfair to the people that pay taxes every single day. To say that Mr. Ceesay didn't do his job very well, that's why I acted this way. But Mr. Ceesay had been doing his job in some occasions, and you never acted the way you were supposed to act as council. Do you understand that? So all these reports, most of it, no action.
Yeah, just like I mentioned to you earlier in the morning, like
No
for
action.
us, just like we the elected official, our hands are tied
Nope.
to take certain decisions, because certain decision you will take at the council level, you take it to people for them to act. It is difficult for them to.
You see, when this commission started, one of the first witnesses were government officials. You understand that? And the permanent secretary testified, sat where you were sitting, had questions that were very uncomfortable, where we feel they did wrong or they could have done better. We told them. Everyone here told them. The procurement came and testified. So there will be no sacred cows. You can be assured of that. No exceptions. But if it is your turn to sit here, just take the questions, because nobody will be an exception. You understand that? And so that's very important. So it's not a blame game.
Yeah,
It is
but
a factual game. Let me refer you to.
Okay.
Go ahead with your comments.
Yes, currently, I think we thank the Local Government Service Commission with
Yes.
our line ministry
Yes.
for giving us a competent auditor.
Yes.
And then all what you mentioned here,
Yes.
I don't think it will ever repeat again.
We
at
hope
KMC,
so.
yeah.
We hope so, and I'm happy with that. And also, not only must you have a competent auditor, you must have a willing administration.
Yes.
You must have a willing.
Unless that
administration.
willing administration, unless the same ministry and Local Government Service Commission support us.
You said here that you were not. If you can't act because you will not have access to information, so you can't act. Let me read to you. Let me give you the financial manual, and you turn to the section regarding the internal audit department. Why it is important that are you with me? Do you have it?
Yeah, you can read.
Turn to page 14. And where the fault lies, that we say it. Page 14 talks about the internal audit department, 208 of the financial and accounting manual for local government area council. Are you there with me?
Yes.
Now we will address the issue. It says, the internal auditor is head of internal audit department. He shall be responsible to ensure that the procedures stipulated in the manual with respect to all transactions involving revenue, collection and expenditure and receipt and issues of stores are properly authorized, promptly carried out and punctually recorded, and to make a continuous and thorough check on council's financial transactions. Do you see that?
Yes.
Now the internal auditor is directly responsible and answerable to council.
Yes.
Yes. This internal auditor or department is answerable to council, so that when these are sent to council, for instance, we have the internal audit report, internal audit inspection on ballot project, period 1st January to 31st December 2021, from the internal audit team to the Lord Mayor's office, sent to council. I will give it to you. We read it out so that we know it is, the reports are out. It's bulky, but you'll see how it is. Where is that internal audit report from? It's on the first page. You'll see it.
Yeah, it is from, the headline is Carnegie Municipal Council.
Yes.
And then the subject is an internal audit report.
Yes. On
Inspection on ballot project.
On ballot project.
1st January to 31st December 2021.
Yes. Where is it from? Internal audit department.
Yes.
Addressed to who?
The letter, it is addressed to the address there, it is to the Lord Mayor.
Mr. Ceesay,
Yes.
you see, this is an open hearing. You have the book. This is not my document. It's not the Commission's document. It's a document authored by the internal auditor, and we will deal with it. So just stick to the first page. Stick to the first page. Let's do this drill. Now, the mayor represents council.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Now, it has met with the internal auditor, as incompetent as he may be, or as competent as he may be. That's subjective. And then that's it. But the qualifications will tell. But the issue is, there's a report addressed to the mayor for the Commission of Council. Was this, these communications, are they not supposed to be sent to your office?
Yes, they're supposed to do that.
Yes.
So
it's supposed to be sent to your office.
So in fact, whether it will also reach to the mayor, unless we confirm it.
No, I am not asking that. When the mayor sits here, he will answer that.
Okay,
when he sits here, he will sit here, he will answer whether he has received this or not. I am dealing with facts.
Yes, so but normally...
So let's just limit ourselves to factual issues.
Okay, I want to clarify something. Normally, any report that reach to the office of the mayor or DEX, he normally forward it to the respective committee.
I don't ask that question.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
That is not my question. My question is, council should forward internal audit complaints to your office. Is that not what you said?
Yes.
Yes, you said that in no uncertain terms. So that is my question. So these issues and these findings must be addressed. Is that not the case? It has to be dealt with.
Yes, hadn't been it was addressed to the right authority, and then the issue should have been addressed.
You see, I am not saying in fact whether it is being received. Whether council in fact received it, I'm going by the text of the internal audit report. So whosoever should come and answer can say, no, we never received this document, or yes, we have received it. But the text says, and you have read it, from to. Now, is council in general, they should address this to you.
So, okay, if it is in relation to Mbalit.
No, I'm not in relation to Mbalit.
Okay.
Listen, these are all findings by the Accounts of Finance Committee.
Okay.
Is that not that you should look into? These are things that you normally look into in accordance with the Local Government Finance and Audit Act and all the relevant laws as well. Do you agree with that?
Yes, that's true.
Yes. So you had already agreed that when it is submitted to council, you should have access to this.
Yes, so like I want to highlight something here.
Yes.
There are a lot of reports regarding the market, regarding the Mbali project and so on.
Yes.
But when it reaches our DEX, what we normally do, we advise the individual persons whose names have been flagged by the report for suppression of revenue, for them to refund the council, and then for them not to be dealing with cash. And then this is not only Mbalit, but other revenue lines.
Yes. You see, I am not saying that you haven't taken action in one case or the other. You haven't had access to and dealt with these reports.
Yes.
That is the fact, and which you have admitted. Is that not the case? Is that not the case? Because if you have, the most uncomfortable thing would be, I would have asked you, where are your reports? What have you done by relation to this? But then at least you've been honest to say, we don't have most of these reports. How can we act if you don't have these reports? Now I have shown you why you should have this report and how you could have had these reports. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Good. And you agree with this? Yes?
Yes, I agree. We're supposed to have the internal audit reports.
Yes, yes. Any questions to this witness?
No.
I believe genuinely that will be all for Mr. Ceesay for now, unless there are other questions for Mr. Ceesay. We will definitely call him back for specific issues in relation to these findings for this. In fact, there are other, I beg your pardon, other internal audit reports. Just show the witness. There is this final audit report for Carnival Municipal Council, audit of human resource and payroll management for the period 1st January 2018 to 29th of February 2024. Have you had access to this report?
Yeah, currently there is one audit report that we reviewed last month.
Yes.
And
so
then
let's be specific. Mr. Ceesay, you have really been doing good in relation to your decorum, but I just want us to, let me show you this document, and you may want to react to it specifically, whether this particular document was submitted to your office. Please,
yes, I have it in a soft copy.
Was it submitted to the finance or account committee?
No, formally it is not.
It was not.
Because it was a draft. We were called for response with the management, and then we did the response. Yes.
But you did not look into it.
We looked into it. That's why we respond.
No, as in not management. Formally, you were not as a committee.
No, formally we maybe the auditor, when there is a final audit report, the auditor will forward it to us.
Okay. With the areas for these rates and license, these areas, have this been coming to your desk?
Yes, most especially the rates.
Yes.
So you have some areas, you have some debts too. But first, let me start with some debts. Individuals that are coming to the council,
yes,
claiming that council is owing them.
Yes.
If I can remember, some of them were former councillors. Whether they will permit me to mention their names.
Yes, you will.
That normally came to council that council is owing them. I think one Modu Sanyang, I think whether he was once a councillor of Bundu. And then you have Yusfa Sanyang too. He was a councillor for Bakote. And then you have one business called Nurben.
Yes.
Is it Nurben? They also have been coming to council for their payments.
Yes.
So, and then there is another lady, I cannot recall the name, but they normally hire tents and so on.
Yes.
They also were requesting for their payments. But checking into certain LPOs and so on, we find out that some of the payments are not genuine and so on. I think some of the matters, most especially the case of Nuruben, yes. I think the husband is the owner of the business. I learned that the husband was following his money from the council till he passed away, but that was not during our time. And then key among his payments are all genuine.
Yes.
So such matters were forwarded because I don't have that power to ask the CEO to pay.
Right.
But we find out that some payments were being done to 50,000 by our former CEO in 2018.
Yes.
So the other payments was once forwarded to the General Council, but they were rejected.
Yes.
Because some say that it was not during our time and so on.
Yes.
So later on too, like you mentioned, in the area of rates and license and even the market maybe the canteens, we find out that some canteens close, and then if there are canteen number, because there was a market exercise we did, we advised the council to remove these market canteens under the market for them to be taken to the license. But later on, we find out that that was not been done. I think they said that it was under the supervision of the finance director or acting finance director then. So, but we advise for all the canteens to be numbered, so that monthly, if you paid, we will know. If you don't pay, we will know.
Let me ask you.
Yes.
Do you have reports of activities you have done or issues you have looked into from 2018?
Yes, I don't lost my laptop, my working tools.
Yes,
I will have produced a lot of information that the commission may need.
So the answer is no.
Yes.
Okay.
So regarding this, for that of the rates too, if you look at the matrix system, for example, if you come to the case of Talende, I was once supplied with a bunch of papers of liabilities of 36 or 34 million dollars for only Talende. So, yes. But you know, Talende is 2 words.
Yes.
So, but if I check the information that was presented to me, the matrix system, the way it is not that much proper organized. For example, what I believe, if they register a yard owner's property, like if they come to Taline, then they have their street names then.
Yes.
And then still certain street names are existing. If they say, okay, Dembo Songo Street, so there are compounds that are in the right-hand side, there are compounds that are in the left-hand side.
Yes.
So, for example, if they are to start with the right-hand side, they should come with 001, 002, up to the last number of that street.
Yes.
But if you check the matrix system, that is not the case. So, again, you will find a property name in Taline with a particular number, maybe 001, but you will find another property name in Ibo Town, 002. So it makes the work very difficult. And even to get their telephone numbers at times is a problem. But the current finance director, Dr. Keda,
yes,
he is doing so many activities with his staff for us to get a proper data of these yard owners and employ their telephone numbers.
All right. Now, lastly, for today, is just to give you a sample of the audit inspection report for first quarter 2021 from the internal audit team to the office of the Lord Mayor. The CEO is copied. This one says the chairman, finance and audit committee is copied. Date 24th of June 2021. Now the quarterly report is from January to March 2021. And I will give you and you will see some of the findings and you can tell us whether anything was done on this issue. So, for instance, on page 4, you will have invoicing issued register. I'm just going to read as it is in word for word. The audit has collected the invoice register from the license manager to verify ongoing issuing of invoices to the business owners. Below are the total invoices served by license unit and their amounts for the period 1st January to 19th of March 2021. It says 1. Total invoice issued 5,911. Total value invoice served 70 million. Is it 70? Yes, 70 million. $35,995.50 products. Total amount collected $40,988,855.78 products. And the total outstanding amount is $29,047,139.72 products. Why it is outstanding, we don't know. So this, have you had access to this? I will show you the report. The other issue is in relation to the market. The market. So you look at page 7, it says audit findings, daily tickets markets. Total number of ticket books collected from all the markets for the period 1st January to 15th February 2021. It says total packet of tickets collected 330. Total amount of tickets valued collected 3,300,000. Total packets of tickets books sold 292. Total amount of tickets sold all the markets 2,920,000. Remaining packets of ticket balance 38, and the remaining value is $380,000. This is 2021. Do we know whether these tickets were eventually collected? This balance of $380,000 what happened with this balance? That's for you to find out. Your responsibility. The other one is the canteens. You have total number of permanent canteens 828. The amount to be collected will have been $848,350. The total number of temporary canteens in all markets is 1,700. Total amount of temporary canteens 856. Now the total number of canteens in areas, all markets, is 1,071 canteens. Total months of canteens in areas 3,416. It says the total amount of areas for all markets is $1,785,300. How is this possible? Since